Hi, it's Jane here from craftwithjane.co.uk, and today I'm bringing you my tower block card. So it's a card that you can stand up just like this, and it creates a tower basically. So that's how it looks front on, and then that's the side. The back is just here, so it would look like that when it's stood up, and you can write your sentiment on here when it's flat. So it's quite an effective, unique card. And as I say, that is the front of the card just there, just to give you perspective of what it looks like when it's stood up. But it's a really cool and interesting card. This particular one, you can do it in all sorts of stacks and all sorts of dimensions, but this one folds flat into 6 by 8, so I can make my own envelope for this one. And also you can purchase envelopes from different internet companies as well to fit in there. So this is my tower block card for today, and I think it looks as pretty flat as it does up. So this is why I love this design. So I don't often make this and give this one out because I always feel like it's one that needs a bit of instruction on how to open, but I've made this for special friends and family who I'm with when I give it to them, so I show them how to open it and how to display it. So for today, for this one, I've used the Hues of Happiness, which is the new suite in the new annual catalogue, and I've got the Send Many Thanks for all you do on the front, and I've put my little bit here, which is where I would write my message, which is on the back of the card. For this one, I'm going to be using this beautiful tulip paper, and this is called Flowering Fields, and this is in the mini catalogue, and I do love this paper. I think it's so spring summer-like. It's beautiful, so I'll be using that today. So to make this card, you need 4 pieces of cardstock that measure 6 by 6. And you're going to do some intricate scoring here. So you're not scoring all the way because you effectively want to create 4 pieces like this. And you don't want to have any score marks here. I mean, you could do it with score marks there, but it does make the structure of the card a little bit weaker. So if you can follow my instructions for this, it would be probably more beneficial for you. But obviously if you are struggling to do what I'm about to do, then just score all the way down. But you basically want 4 pieces of cardstock that look like this, which you're then going to interslot and glue onto each other. So to start with, I'm going to score on the 2-inch line, and I'm going to score it down to approximately 2 inches, which is just marked here. And I'm going to do that again at 4. And I'm going to score it at approximately the 2-inch mark just here. I'm then going to rotate, and I'm going to score from the 2-inch line again down to the 2-inch line. And you can see it going across there. I'm going to meet it. And I'm going to do that again at 1.5 inches. And this will just create my tab element. I'm going to rotate the paper. And for the other end, I'm going to do 4 down to that 2-inch mark. And it picks up the line that I've just scored. And then I'm going to repeat that process at the 4.5. So I'm just going to bring this back up to you. You can just see there, then you've got boxes, but you haven't got any scoring there. And then on this side, so I'm going to rotate it around. So it's the opposite side to where I've just scored, these 2 edge parts. I'm going to have to do this middle one, which is probably one of the trickiest. So I'm going to score it down at 2, all the way to that 2-inch mark. And I'm going to score it at 4. As close as I can to that 2-inch mark, and then I'm going to rotate it, and I'm going to not score, but I'm just going to gently sort of follow the line, and I'm going to pick it up at the 2-inch mark, and I'm going to score to 4-inch, and then I'm going to do the same at the 1.5. So I'm going to sort of roughly follow where I think it should be, and then I'm going to, at the 2-inch mark, I'm going to go down to the 4-inch mark here. So I will just bring that all up to the camera. Can you see that just there? So you've got your 2 squares here and your 1 square in the middle there. Okay, so I've got my paper snips just here, and I've got my lovely scissors charm that one of my lovely demonstrator friends gave me. And I'm now going to snip. So I'm going to snip up these just here. And I'm going to take off. So these are the 2 corner pieces. Just there, and I'm going to create my tabs. Okay, so I've basically cut up here cut across there. So I've taken this rectangle away, been left with this tab, which I've then just cut into. So I'll repeat that on this side. And cut across here. And then I'm just going to trim my tab elements. There we go. So I've done those two, and I'm going to do that centre one now, opposite now. So I'm just going to cut up my score lines. So I tend to cut, because they leave a little bit of a bump, I tend to cut on the inner side of the bump, so I cut away the bit that's left with the bump. That's what I try to do anyway. Not sure I always manage to do it successfully, but I think I've managed that here. Okay. So I often do my cutting before I do my burnishing, and that's just my personal choice. So this is the template I'm left with, and I will have done that on 4. I've pre-done them for you on 4 different, so there's 4 of them in total. So I'm just going to get my bone folder out now, and I'm just going to burnish. So I'm going to get out my multi-purpose liquid glue, and this is sort of the trickier area. So I'm just going to slot one piece in so you can see how it sits. So I'm going to slot this in here, and effectively I need to glue that tab down and those 3 tabs down, and it sort of fit, and then when it opens it will do that structure. So I've just slotted them into each other. I want to keep them as straight as I can so that they form a lovely uniformed shape. And then I'm going to glue. You don't have to use multi-purpose liquid glue. You could definitely use tear and tape for this. You can definitely use your Seal Plus or your Seal. So I'm just going to do those down like that. And I'm going to hold them into place. And I'm just going to double check that that looks all straight and lined. Yes, it does. So let those pick up for a second. And I'm going to do the same with this one just here. So I'm going to slot that into place. So it'll be like that effectively. So I'm going to do that. Make sure that it lines up as straight as I can get it, which it looks like it does. And then I'm just going to put some on the inside here. Put that one down. I'm going to put some on the inside here, so you can see it's every sort of other. Put that one down that way. And then I'm going to, put some on the inside just here. And I'm going to press that one down. So I'm going to press all 3 down, and all the time I'm just checking that it all lines up straight, which it does, and I will press down and allow that to pick up, and then I'll put my final piece on, and then comes the tricky bit where I have to line this up onto this side, but I'll do that in a second. So I'll just check that this is all lined up straight. There we go. Lovely. Now I'm going to glue like I've just done with the others. So I was asked by one of my lovely customers, who is also a friend and a work colleague, to maybe do some more cards, because she likes the cards and she likes to make cards. So I thought, well, I'll do some quirky cards, some interesting cards, as well as some regular cards as well on my channel. So that is why I'm making this card today. And now we're just going to bring this together just to double check that we're looking like it's going to fit. And there's the shape that we're looking for. So I can see I've got a little bit of glue on the inside here. So I'm just going to, there you go, take that away. So now I'm going to put the glue on before I get these together. So I'm just going to put a bit of glue on this one, a bit of glue on this one, and a bit of glue on this one. And then I'm going to bring them together. That's it, like this. And then I'm going to fold them this way, make sure everything lines up. And I'm going to press it down. So do I have it lined up? Yeah, about. Is it completely lined up? Oops, sorry. So just want to make sure it's completely lined up. There we go. There. So I'm going to press it down quite firmly. Turn it over, press it down quite firmly. And then I'll just open it up and make sure that it can create the square shape that I'm looking for. And that is the basis of the tower card that you've just done there. So I'm just going to allow my card base a little bit of time to dry, and I'm going to talk you through the layers because there are a lot of layers to this card. As you can see here, you've got a matte layer of cardstock, and then you've got your DSP panel as well, and you've got quite a few of them. And if I open this card up, you can see that you've got some that are 2 wide, you've got some that are just 1 square, and then you've got some on the sides that are 3. So I'm going to follow a similar pattern. So these are my front sentiment and my back layer where I can write my message. And these I've called the sentimental layers. And the cardstock for these layers are 3 7/8 by 1 7/8, because the space here is 4 by 2, and these boxes are 2 by 2 as well. So this will form my front layer just here, and then I will put one on the back. And then the sentiment layer, so the white cardstock layer, is 3 3/4 by 1 3/4. And I've used the artfully layered stamp set to do the happiest of birthdays, which is just here. And you can see on this layer here, I've just used this stamp as well, which I thought looks a bit like leaves, but also tulip leaves, but also looks a little bit like hearts. So I thought it was quite sweet. So I've put those 2 there, which I've already made those layers there. And then similarly I've made I think I've made 2 of these, because these will sit at the top and the bottom, or the other way around, doesn't matter which way around you put them. And they are exactly the same. So the cardstock is 3 7/8 by 1 7/8, and the DSP layer is 3 3/4 by 1 3/4. So there's 2 of those and 2 of those. I also have, so for the inside of my tower card, you can see, to give it more core strength, I've put a cardstock layer in the inside, which is 3 long, and that cardstock layer was 5 7/8 by 1 7/8, and I've got 4 of those to go on the inside, which I'll put in as the last part of my card making. And then I've got 2 of these layers which are going to form side panels, and they are 3 7/8 by 1 7/8 in cardstock, and the DSP is 5 3/4 and 1 3/4. So they'll go either side. And then finally, I've got these layers here. So there are 22 of these layers. There's quite a few. And these consist of the designer series paper cut up into different colours, and the cardstock layer at the back of this is 1 7/8 by 1 7/8, and the DSP layer is 1 3/4 by 1 3/4, and these will just pop on all of the panels that are spare. So I'm going to put my big pieces on to start, and then I'll just come in and work out where I'd like to put my mix of the small. So I've pre-stuck all of these, otherwise it would be quite a while watching me. This is a slow and steady sort of project, because I'll show you me putting on the first couple of layers now, and then I'll come back at the end of the video and put the last couple on with you as well. So I'm going to put my sentiment layer. I've decided this is the front of my card, and I'm going to put my sentiment right at the front just here. So I'm going to tilt it up to me a little bit, make sure I can get it as squared as possible. There we go. Oops. with that. That's fine. So that is my first layer there. So I'm just going to stick the last square down. I've popped some glue on the back and I'm going to pop it just here, line it all up, just press everything down, and then I'll open it back up and we'll just have a quick flip around. Some of them are not completely dry, so I do need to be careful because they may slip. So yeah, that is how the card is looking so far. So now I need to do my inner layers just in there. So I'm just putting the last inner matte layer in the inside of the card. I don't know if you can see that just there? Just gluing the last layer into place. And that just gives the inner core a bit of stability. There we go. And just gives the card, it looks nice as well. So obviously you can see there's layers inside that complement the outside, but also it does give it a core strength. So that is the finished card. So I'll just show you the front just there. And then I can turn it around. You can see all the panels just there. And if I lay it flat, that is how it looks flat. So this is both of the cards just here. So a slightly interesting tutorial for today. I've got some coloured dots. I popped some dots here from the Glossy Dots assortment in the new catalogue, and I'm just gonna pop some here. So I've got a choice really, because there's some pinks, there's some purples, and there's some yellows in this, and I've put like the pink and the red just there. So I'll just bring these out and see. I was thinking the yellow, but I'm not certain if I might like the pinks a bit better to go with the flowers. But originally my plan was for the yellows. So let's have a little look what the yellow sort of looks like there. I mean, it does look nice there. Let's have a little look at the pink. What do you guys think? I think the yellow actually. I think the pink's just a tad too pink, so I'm going to pop one just here, and then I'll pop one of the middle ones, a smaller one actually. I'll go for the smaller one, and I'll pop the smaller one just here. And I just think it just sort of brightens up the card a little bit. So those are the new Glossy Dots. So these are my two finished cards. I do hope that you managed to follow along with me today. I will put all of the measurements in the blog, so please do follow the links below for that. And I'll try my best to do metric measurements for you as well. Okay, so these are the two projects finished. I'll just hold this one up to show you what it looks like from the front. So I hope that you're getting a good view of that. And I just wanted to say thank you very much for watching. If you're enjoying my videos, please do subscribe. I'm halfway to my 1,000 subscriber goal now, so I would really, really appreciate it if you considered subscribing if you're enjoying. I would also like to say that there are links below to my shop and to the products. that I have used today. If you do not already have a Stampin' Up demonstrator and you would like to shop Stampin' Up, I would be delighted if you shopped with me. I do send out thank you cards at the end of each month. If you have a qualifying order, so if you spend over £30 excluding postage and packaging, I send you out a free gift. And if you use my host code, which you can find on my website, so follow the links below for that, I send you out another free gift, so you get a gift pack. I know that my customers, I'm really fortunate to have some amazing regular customers, and I know that they do enjoy receiving the packs. They often have handmade goodies in and some products, some free products and things like that in them. So do consider that if you are going to shop Stampin' Up. And there's also a joining offer this month. If you're interested in that, please do follow the links below to my website, and that does tell you about the amazing joining offer this month. It does end at the end of the month, so you do need to be quick. I would love it if you subscribed. If you are enjoying my videos, please do consider subscribing. Do like the videos, and if you comment, I will respond. So yeah, I'm gonna say bye for now, I think, guys. So I'll pop this card down for you. Thanks for watching, and happy crafting.